you find out by logging in that they're actually using your voice.
That's right.
And they have been since when?
I produced it in September. I discovered it in December.
This is the plaintiff, Heather Dostert. She claims the defendant illegally used her voice for an advertisement on a website, and she wants to be paid for her services. That's right, she's not going to allow the sneaky defendant to steal her voice, make money on it, and then just stiff her. She's suing for $175, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, David Rothman. He says the plaintiff approached him on the street while he was shooting a commercial and introduced herself as a voiceover talent. He asked her to do a voiceover for a commercial for a website and told her he couldn't pay her for this one, but the next one he does, he would hire her. She agreed, did the voiceover work, and then next thing he knows, he's being sued. He's accused of vexing a voiceover actress.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Heather Dostert, you are suing David Rothman for $175 for voiceover work you say he was supposed to pay you for and didn't. Okay, talk to me. Tell me what's going on.
I met David Rothman when he sent some children to pass out some talent release forms at the town beach. I spoke to the child, I looked at the release form.
What was that about? What were the release forms?
I was doing a shoot for a commercial, and
Okay.
I had release forms to act in this commercial that I was
So
shooting.
you were trying to get people to serve as extras in the commercial?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, I recognized the release form because I've got a 15-year career in media, and I said to the child, well, this is a release form, when is the shoot? So I thought, well, I'm local, I'll go meet this producer.
When you say 15 years in media, tell me what you mean.
I started off in radio. I was a voiceover as well as a copywriter and audio producer, and I'm still working as a freelancer.
Okay, when you say freelance, you're doing voiceovers?
voiceover,
Okay.
writing copy, and placing media.
So you follow the child with the form
yes,
over to whoever the source of the form was.
And I introduced myself, and Mr. Rothman was producing an ad for a contest for Latin television. So we exchanged contact information, and I left. 6 months later, I got an email from him requesting rates. I told him it depends. I said for 30 or 60 voice, I would do it for $100. Local guy, not a big account. And
Local guy being what? Him or?
Yes, he's local. It's not like it's for a big production company.
Okay.
He asked if I could work with him on his rate until he gets a few clients. I replied, no problem, I'll work with whatever your budget is. Well, I never got a budget. And I had a phone discussion with him. He mentioned that he wanted me to do a voiceover for a restaurant called Temple Grill. Now, normally, as a voice talent, you'll do a spec spot, which is a sample. In other words, you can't hire an actress who does an audition.
Right.
So I had to do some kind of spec spot to send to the client so they can hear my voice, see if they liked my read, and if they wanted to hire me at all. That is standard procedure. Well, he sent me a script for Biaggetti's.
A different restaurant.
A different restaurant. So I'm under the impression that this must be a spec. So I went ahead and I voiced the spot, and I sent him the voiceover for Biaggetti's.
Now, all this time, you're thinking that this is an audition.
Well, the client has to hear my voice to
I
hire
understand.
me.
I don't need your argument. I need to understand your facts, and then I'm going to hear his facts. But you're thinking that this is an audition, and when do you first realize that he's not thinking that?
Because he kept sending me over revisions.
And did you do them?
I did one, and then in one of the correspondence, he's suggesting that I write copy. I need a little voiceover filler. They want to ID the other chef as well. I don't know what that means. I don't know who the chefs are. At that point, I realized something's not right. This is not a spec spot that I'm doing.
So what do you say to him?
I said, please send me the revised copy. Also, call me so we can get the pronunciation right. There was an issue with the pronunciation. He wanted me to pronounce a 2-syllable word in 1 syllable. I wasn't clear on the pronunciation because it's Italian. And I just asked him to call me.
What happens in that phone conversation?
He explains to me that I won't be getting paid to
That's
do
the first
the
you hear
Via
of it.
Jetties.
So you never corrected the pronunciation the way he wanted you of the 1-syllable, 2-syllable thing?
That's right.
Okay. And yet you find out that, by the way, this is for an internet commercial, right? This is not
A web
for on
roll,
air.
that's right.
And you find out by logging in that they're actually using your voice.
That's right.
And they have been since when?
I produced it in September. I discovered it in December.
Because between September and December, you were waiting to get paid by him?
No, he told me in the email after I told him I would not work for free, and then I sent him an email telling him I would not work for free. He said, I have deleted your tracks and your contact information.
Okay, can I go ahead and hand to my bailiff, please, all of the emails that you have between the two of you? What's going on?
I think we have a little miscommunication, Judge.
Oh, you think?
I contacted Heather, and she had told me that the account that I had sent, that I had from her business card that she sent me it had been down for months, and she mentioned that she charged $75 per hour for a shoot.
Okay. So then maybe you could explain why you haven't paid her $75.
Well, I didn't agree.
Did you do this for free?
I was doing that. No. I wasn't doing that for free.
Oh, you weren't doing it for free?
No.
No. How much did you get paid for that spot?
$900.
Oh, you got paid $900. Okay. You just wanted her to do it for free.
I had already been paid for that spot.
Well, what difference does it make? I don't care if you spent your money unwisely like a drunken sailor on shore leave. I care if you got paid for the spot or if this was some public service thing. It is often the case that artists who are struggling might help each other. According to her, she's not struggling. I don't know if she is or if she's not, if this is her life's ambition or she wants to be the voice for Disney. I don't know what, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
She's telling me she never told you she'd work for free, and I'm trying to understand why if you made profit, she couldn't get paid $75 or $100 or $175, and we'll figure that out in a minute. I'm trying to understand why you thought she was going to help you make $900. Because what? Because you guys were together for 20 years? Like, what is in your head that you think she was working for you for free while you were profiting?
Okay. What happened was I had completed the spot and been paid. I had communicated to Heather that I thought in order to get more clients, I felt that to have a woman's voice on a spot would possibly help me get more clients, and then we would have a good working relationship. Mm-hmm. So I said in the follow-up to that $75 quote, I said, can you work with me? Can you do it for free?
Tell me exactly what you said in that email.
Oh, okay.
Can you work with me? Can you do it for free? That's what you said.
Okay. I said, would you mind doing a trial run to see if it works, sending files, and then when Temple Grill signs up, then I can pay you $75 per spot.
Okay. Now I want you to read it with the intonation that helps your case. Go ahead. The same exact
the
sentence.
75
No. The same exact sentence. Do you have the email?
That's not in the
That's the
email.
Oh, that's an email.
Yeah, but it's not in that.
Okay, hold on
That
one second.
email's not in there.
Well, then you just chose not to give it to me. Hold on. Do you have your computer here? Does it have all your emails on it?
Yeah.
Back and forth the traffic? You didn't delete anything?
No.
Bring it up. You mind?
Go ahead.
Okay.
There's all the emails between he and I, so.
Do you have your emails? This is fascinating.
Just in printouts. I don't have my computer with me.
Do you have a phone?
Yes?
Does your phone have email? Get your
Yes.
emails up, because I'm fascinated by the fact that this one email is missing from hers. Because you either made it up or she deleted it. Those are the only two options. There is no other answer. One of you is just completely dishonest, and I'm fascinated by this. Is that the earliest email? No, right? There's one before that.
Well, let's go back to search results. That's the earliest
I want a
one.
9/13 one.
Here we go. There it is.
Well, I got to tell you, this is like really suspicious because inside of his phone, which I don't expect him to own the sophistication to, I have the very email he says exists that is missing from your trail. And here's what the email says, okay? I actually have Temple Grill waiting to see the results of my... He asks you, will you work with me? Not will you do it for free, like you said you did. He says to you, will you work with me on your rates? And you answer to him, no problem. I'll work with whatever your budget is. Okay? And then he says to you, I appreciate that. I don't know why you think that means free. Okay? And then he says to you, and I don't know why it's missing from your email trail, would you mind doing a trial run to see if it works, sending files, and then when Temple Grill signs up, then I can pay you $75 a spot. How is this, as disturbed as I am that the email trail is missing from her, how is this clear understanding between the parties that she works for free? Clearly, we know it wasn't a clear understanding because she immediately said, where's my money? Okay. Look, is the thing here? Can I hear it?
Oh, the ad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it still up?
Yeah, it should be. Yes, it is.
Like if you go to the website right now and you click it, you can
It's
hear
on
it?
two websites. It's on his business website and it's
Get
on the
out.
client's website.
You have it still on your business website? After you know that, why is that funny? After you know that she's angry and that there was no meeting of the minds here where she agreed for you to use, you not only use it for its intended purpose after you told her that you weren't going to use it at all and that you pulled it, but then you're using it for a second purpose that you had clearly no permission to use it for?
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So when the guy says, I'll work with you on your rates, does that mean that the plaintiff's doing it for free?
No, it would mean that they're going to negotiate the price that she'll get paid.
But it's still kind of vague, isn't it?
Not so much. It would say, will we waive your rate? If you
Okay,
get not paid
but yeah,
free.
okay, I get it. But well, I'll work with you on your rates. Does that mean that you're giving it to me for free?
No, it means we're going to come up with a deal. We'll work something out.
But here's the question. If you don't come up with a deal, what do you pay the person? Exactly. I don't know either. Going inside the courtroom.
I had actually delivered the file to Biaggetti's.
Answer my question.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
use it for your own advertisement, for your own site, to pimp you to get more business through her voice that you never paid her a penny for. Is that accurate? Yeah, it sounds like rubbish when I say it, right?
It does sound like
Okay, well, that's what living is all about. It's about trying to put yourself in the shoes of the other person. That's what being a decent human being is all about. So if you thought it through, and your connected brain cells were connecting in a direction that wasn't just profitable for you, might you have asked yourself the same question I just asked you, and then you wouldn't be here humiliating yourself? Let me hear it.
For decades, Biaggetti's has been treating Savin Rock to our family recipes. We prepare every dish to perfection. Complete your perfect beach day with live entertainment on our summer patio. Our banquet room is available for large parties. Biaggetti's. Call for reservations.
Yep, you do have one of those voices. All right, so now, it's obvious to me that this email is legitimate, that this email is in the email trail because it's right on his phone. And in this email, you acknowledge cutting a price break to $75. But the fact that he used it on his website, as far as I'm concerned, gives you another $75. So I am ruling in the plaintiff's favor in the amount of $150.
So the defendant loses this case here in the People's Court. Step in here. Why'd you use her voice, even after you knew she didn't want you to?
I felt that she had agreed to the terms, and I felt that there could be more work for other people going forward. And in this economy, we're trying to drum up some business.
I don't know what you're talking about. Didn't you take advantage of her by
No,
using her
I don't
voice
think-
against her will after she had told you She didn't want you to?
No, and we really didn't get into the details of the case where she had written to the client directly instead of contacting me. So I think that there's more to the case that didn't actually come out.
So you don't think you took advantage of this voiceover person?
No, not at all. In fact, I think that she could have had a lot of money coming her way had we gone on to do other spots,
Yeah,
which
well,
was
that's
the
not the
intention.
question. All right, head right down this way.
Great, thank you.
All right, step on in here. You satisfied with what you get coming out of this?
Yes. Yes, I'm happy to be paid for my work.
Yeah. Do you think he tried to steal your voice?
This happens all the time to voice talent.
Really?
Yes, this is not uncommon at all.
In the big-time voiceover world, it's tough, huh?
No.
Out there?
Big time.
Yeah. Where'd those emails go? Did they disappear? How'd those emails
That's the
disappear?
strangest thing
off
I've
you?
ever seen because
It's a little
I
odd.
don't think you can delete emails in a stream like that.
I think you can.
Well, I don't know.
Harvey?
Okay, I got to tell you, it is so important to nail down price very clearly before you sign a contract. If it's indefinite, you're really in peril. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Kristen Hughes. She says she purchased a puppy from the defendant's pet shop, and a few days after getting her home, she was barely breathing. She was terrified, so she rushed the pup to the hospital, and they told her she had pneumonia. The puppy spent 5 days in the hospital. The defendant sold her a very sick pup, and she wants that $2,000 it cost her to get the dog healthy. This is the defendant, Matt. He says the plaintiff purchased a champion English Bulldog puppy. His vet gave the dog a clean bill of health, and the plaintiff took her home. For some reason, the plaintiff overreacted and rushed the puppy to the hospital, and the ER took advantage of her. Now the woman wants him to foot the exorbitant bill? Ha! Let's see what the judge says. He's accused of selling a poor pup.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff bought a puppy from the defendant, and the pup almost died. It was very sick. But the defendant says the plaintiff grossly overreacted. It's the case of one sick puppy.
Is everything okay over there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't think so.
All right, Kristen and Brian Hughes.
Yes, I'm Kristen Hughes.
And who is that?
That's my brother,
Okay.
Matthew.
You are suing the defendant's pet store. You don't want us to mention the name of the pet store or your last name. So we will refer to you as Matt, correct?
Yes.
All right. You're suing Matt for $2,000, the purchase price of a puppy. Your actual vet bills, you say, exceed that you bought from him, and that, according to you, was not fit for purchase at the time of the sale because of the dog was sick. Tell me what happened.
So in late November of 2012, my husband and I were looking for a dog. I went into Matt's puppy store, and I fell in love with Savannah, the English Bulldog. We put a deposit on her, a $500 deposit, on November 21st. At that point in time, we were told that we couldn't take her home because she had a little cold. She needed to be seen by the pet store's vet, and once the vet had examined her and given her the okay, we could take her home.
Okay, I really want to see your dog because it's wearing a shirt. Can you put the dog up on top, or do you think she'll...
Yeah, we can try. She's kind of big.
She is kind of big. Is she friendly?
Yeah, she's very friendly. She's just
Yeah.
a puppy, so she's a little wild still.
Right. She has a beautiful coat. Okay, so go on.
So we called several days later. We were told by the pet store that their vet had taken a look at her and she was okay to go home. We picked her up the following day. At that point,
She's
we paid...
moaning me. God, I'm sorry. I got distracted. Good. Go on, I'm sorry. Good.
So we picked her up the following day, which was the 25th of November. At that point in time, we paid the balance, which was $1,500 plus tax. We took her home with antibiotics that had been prescribed by the...
What was the purchase price, $1,500 or $2,000?
The total price was $2,000.
Let me see your paperwork from the sale.
Yes.
Go ahead, go on.
Okay, so we took her home on a Sunday. That following Wednesday, she was seen by our vet for her new puppy checkup. At that point in time, she was just finishing up the antibiotics that had come from the puppy store's vet. Our vet took a look at her.
When you picked up the puppy was still on an antibiotics course?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Our vet took a look at her, basically said keep an eye on her, and told us to do a nasal spray and steam her, just to keep an eye on her. 2 days after that, in the middle of the night, we woke up and she was barely breathing. It was like a breath every 4 seconds. So we realized that something was wrong.
How did she, was she lying down? Was she sitting?
She was in her crate. What had happened was she was waking us up around 1 a.m. every morning
Doing
at that
what?
point, just to let us know that she had to go out. She wasn't sleeping through the night yet. We woke up at 2 a.m., realized she hadn't woken us up, took a look at her in the crate, and she was just like a lump and like a breath every 4 or 5 seconds. So taking a look at her, we realized that it was a pretty dire situation. We actually thought she was going to expire right there in our home. So we rushed her at around 2 or 3 in the morning to our local emergency veterinary clinic. She was seen there, x-rays were taken. At that point, the doctor diagnosed her with pneumonia.
Okay, can I see the medical records from the ER?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
So at that point, the vet at the ER recommended that she be admitted to their hospital. At that point, it was about 7 a.m., and our vet was opening around 9 that morning. So because we have a relationship, a longstanding relationship with our vet, we opted to take her home at that point in time, and we're planning on taking her to our vet as soon as they opened that morning.
And did you do that?
Yes, we did.
And what did your vet do?
He took a look at the x-rays. We were able to bring the x-rays over on a CD from the emergency room. He examined her, and he agreed with the diagnosis of pneumonia, and he admitted her to the hospital for 4 days.
Okay, this is the same vet who had seen her and had said that she didn't have pneumonia a week ago or something like that, right? How long?
He had seen her about 3 days prior, and he said keep an eye on her.
Right now we look good. She got worse. Then that vet said she needs to stay with me.
Right.
So she stays with that vet for how long?
4 days.
4 days. And do you have the medical records from that vet? So when do you contact the defendant and tell him what's going on?
I contact him on December 4th. So December 1st, she's admitted to the hospital. That was a Friday. That following Monday, December 4th, I send him a notice, a letter putting him on notice of the fact that the dog was ill, and that pursuant to the relevant law, we would be following up with our vet to see if she was in fact unfit for purchase, and if our vet did go ahead and fill out all of that paperwork that's prescribed by the Department of Agriculture, that she was unfit for purchase.
Are you a lawyer?
I am.
Oh. I smell lawyer in the air once again. Go ahead, go on.
And that once, we had that documentation, if in fact we got it, we would be forwarding it to him and seeking our remedies under the relevant law.
Okay, so did you ever actually talk to him, though?
Via letter, we have gone back and forth.
All right, and then when you hear that this is going on, what do? By the time you hear, is she making a demand, or were you trying to get her medical help?
The first letter that I received was very lawyerish, where just basically,
you say that like it's a bad thing.
It was either if you don't do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to sue you.
Right. I mean, you sold the dog to her, and the dog was still on antibiotics. And then the dog ends up having something that's related to the antibiotics. The dog ends up getting pneumonia, full-blown pneumonia. What's your defense?
I have 3 different letters here. One from my veterinarian, where I took the dog on November 22nd, stating the dog was okay, less a little upper respiratory infection or nasal discharge. That Sunday, before they picked up the dog, I have a licensed veterinary technician who comes every Saturday and Sunday, check out the dog, said little nasal discharge. And then that Wednesday, when they took it to their own vet basically said the dog is bright, alert, and responsive. Did have nasal discharge, but otherwise normal breathing. It was, quote, unable to cough. It was basically healthy otherwise. And, under New York state law, they are very clear. An animal may not be found unfit for sale on the account of an injury sustained or illness contracted subsequent to the consumer taking possession thereof.
Right, but why am I going to look at this and say this is something that you mean just because the pneumonia hadn't developed, it means that what you sold the dog with didn't develop into pneumonia? Like, in other words, if it stems from the sickness that the dog was being treated for, why wouldn't it be covered?
It was clear enough at that point. It was fine on the 28th. It depends on the type of pneumonia.
What you're arguing is the dog didn't have pneumonia,
no.
I guess.
And may I also point out...
Or that it got pneumonia, but it has nothing to do with the upper respiratory infection it was taking antibiotics for when I sold her the dog.
Absolutely.
Oh, come on.
So is it better to buy a puppy at a pet store or to pound?
The pet store, because at the pound they could have deficiencies or they could have been abused before.
Okay, well, I'm going to get into that with you in a second. What do you think, ma'am?
I think the pet store.
Okay, what do you think?
Pet store.
Okay, the pound. Okay, number one, a lot of puppies at pet stores, not all, but a lot of them are inbred. And number two, you get a dog at the pound, it doesn't mean that they're sick, but they will never forget and they will always love you and they will probably love you more. And you can trust me because I'm a lawyer. Going inside the courtroom.
If your kid had an upper respiratory infection and your kid was taking antibiotics, and then your kid developed pneumonia, would you seriously think that it had nothing to do with the upper respiratory infection that your kid was, I mean, come on.
What I'm basically saying is based on their response in the middle of the night, yeah, they were absolutely right to bring it to their 24 hours.
Because that's not what your answer to the complaint says. Your answer to the complaint says that you think they overreacted, then got ripped off by the ER, and why would you have to pay unreasonable vet charges?
Your Honor, with all due respect, I have other vet bills from other dogs that got pneumonia. They're nothing anywhere near $2,000.
So you think that this is overreach? You think that the vet charged them a lot?
I think it was, I don't know. I feel comfortable saying it was, probably excessive based on, my past experiences.
Do you have those vet bills
Yes.
from other dogs that have been treated for pneumonia from ERs?
Emergency room right in Manhattan. Doesn't get any more expensive.
According to you, they took, her vet took 11 x-rays. Is that what you said in the answer to the complaint?
I was exaggerating.
Oh, you were okay.
Yeah,
Because I kept looking for the 11 x-rays in the bills and I couldn't find it. I needed you to show it to me. Okay. All right, you're exaggerating. Let me see. That's up here, right?
Which one?
The vet bill from the ER.
No, I have that, Your Honor.
Can I have that, please?
Yes.
Okay, this says 458. So the ER was only 458?
Correct.
Oh. Well, then why? That's less than the ones you were showing.
Well, that doesn't include everything that was done after the fact.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I thought you were saying the ER bill was unreasonable, but the ER bill is in keeping with all the other ER bills you've shown me. So do you think her vet then hospitalizes the dog, okay, for 4 days? That's where the big bill comes in. Mm-hmm. That's the same vet who wasn't trying to rip her off 3 days ago. 3 days ago, he didn't feel the dog needed hospitalization, and he told her, it's fine, watch the dog, nebulize, do this, do that, blah, 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 see you later.
Yeah.
Then 3 days later, right, 3 days later,
Correct.
the dog comes after going to the ER and he says, oh my gosh, that dog is in bad shape, so we're gonna have to keep the dog now and do all these things to it, which obviously the vet is not just some rip-off artist because he didn't try to rip her off 3 days ago. What's your defense? It's a bad one, whatever it is, and I'm gonna take you out of your misery. My verdict in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of the $2,000.
Well, the judge says whatever the defense is a bad one. That usually leads to losing the case. Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
Yes. So bottom line is the vet dropped the ball. And if I was at fault, I gladly would have paid. I offered them 2 types of different settlements, which they neglected.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously...
And then you were found in court to be at fault.
Yeah,
right,
which is absurd.
Okay, you head
Thank
right
you.
down this way. All right. All right, so step on out here. You satisfied how this comes out with all the lawyering you did?
Yes, I am very pleased.
Yeah, you sounded like a lawyer and you still won. That's pretty rare in the people's court. How's the dog?
She's doing well now. She's got a little bit of scar tissue on her lungs, but she's going to be great. So.
Mm-hmm. And was this about the money or the principal for you? Or?
It was about the principal at the end
Which
of the
was?
day. Well, I mean, I felt that there was a lot of insensitivity on the part of the puppy store requesting that we give her back.
Their fault.
Right.
Harvey?
Okay, I gotta tell you something. This is the kind of stuff that should go on Yelp. When a business does a bad thing, Yelp is so good in places like Yelp because it allows consumers not only to vent, but to warn other people when things are really bad. Now, we'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Desmond Sukdio. He says he was parking his car in a lot near his office, and a parking attendant who was driving a car in front of him unexpectedly backed up and hit him. The lunatic then jumped out of the car, cursed at him, and even wanted a fight. He had no time for this idiot, called the cops, and just wants the defendants, who authorized the parking attendant to drive their car, to pony up the $539.48 he's owed. These are the defendants, Alan Goodman and Dara Ross. Alan says the parking attendant tapped the front of the plaintiff's car and reported the incident to his daughter. There was no damage to the car. She took pictures and then drove off. They have no idea why they're being sued because nothing happened to the plaintiff's car. They weren't even driving it at the time, and they think the judge will agree. They're accused of denying a dent.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff was parking his car and says the parking attendant hit him with the defendant's car and then challenged him to a fight. The defendant says it was a tap and there was no damage. It's the case of he's a parker and a barker.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay. Mr. Desmond Suktio?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You are suing Alan Goodman and Dara Ross. You are the daughter of Alan Goodman?
That's correct.
Okay. For $539.48, the amount that it's going to cost you to have your car repaired when your car was hit by her car in the court parking lot or the parking lot closest to the court, and you're both lawyers.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, please,
Everybody else is loving this case, watching two lawyers have to go at it in their own personal business. Okay. All right. Tell me what is going on. Tell me what happened.
Okay, Your Honor. It was August 8th, 2012. I had an appearance in the civil court, Queens County. So I left my office and on 88th Avenue I made a right.
Okay.
Into
Sir, are you a trial lawyer? What kind of law do you practice?
Civil law.
Okay, but trial work?
Yes, please.
Okay, listen. Tell me about the accident. I don't need to know what route you took to work that day. That's not relevant to the case. Tell me about the accident. What happened?
Okay, Your Honor. I was in this. I have to set it in context so you can get a good understanding.
I do not need to know what route you took to the courthouse parking lot. That is not context. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm on the street. I stopped. In front of me was a car. I took my horn and I sat there.
In front of you was a cop?
Was a car.
A car, okay.
I stopped. My foot was on the brake. I tipped my horn. When I tipped my horn,
the car to move?
Yes, it did not move.
And you both are on the street?
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of the car going forward,
right,
or backing up to park in the parking lot,
okay,
it came. I don't know how fast Your Honor, but it hit my car.
How fast was it going?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, was it just rolling back and he misgauged?
It was not rolling, Your Honor. It was about 5 feet away from me. It came back with the speed, hit my car, and shifted it about 2 to 3 feet.
Shifted your car 2 to 3 feet?
My car.
All right. Can I see a picture of the damage?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
So the accident actually happens on the road?
It was on the road.
So the person comes out and says what? Well, that doesn't look like it could have shifted your car 2 to 3 feet. I mean, it's damaged, definitely. And I don't think that it's inconsistent with the amount that you're asking for.
Your Honor.
But just a moment.
I'm sorry.
But I'm finding it kind of hard to think that that would shift your car 2 to 3 feet. I think you might be exaggerating there. But anyway, so what happens? The guy comes out of the car and says, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." What does he say?
No. He put down his window and started pointing his finger at me and started cursing. I put my window back up.
Was he saying that you hit him?
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He asked me if I didn't see him.
What was he? If you didn't see him backing up?
Yeah, and I was stopped and he was stopped. He was the one who backed up. I didn't move. I put my window back up, and I called the cops.
And did the police come out?
The police came.
And did they take a report?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
May I see it? I can't read this handwriting. Vehicle number 1 states that while trying to find a park in the lot, vehicle number 2 backed into him. Vehicle number 1 driver was taken to Queens Hospital?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
You went to the hospital?
Yes.
With complaints of back pain. Police officer didn't see any visible damage to either car. He didn't see visible damage to either car, but I sort of, what year car is this?
It's a 2006 Nissan Sentra.
I mean, I see damage to the car. I don't know how he couldn't see damage. Go ahead and talk to me. Tell me
Your Honor, I actually haven't seen those pictures.
Yeah.
I took my own pictures the day of the accident when I got back from court, and they told me that this incident
Yeah, how did tell me about that? So you get out of court. Did you win in court, by the way?
I don't recall.
Okay, and then you walk out, and what happened?
I got to the parking lot where I park often, and
who's the car registered under?
It's mine.
Okay.
I insure
Why
it.
is he here? Why are you suing the dad?
Well, that's the name on the police report as the registered owner.
Okay. Do you have the title?
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, that's the way he got your name, was that the police told him you were the registered owner.
I could only speculate that they pulled out an old insurance card from her car with.
Maybe it was in the glove compartment. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Okay, well, she owns the car alone, so you're dismissed, but you can still stand there and support your daughter. Go ahead.
So they said something happened, and I said, well, let me see the car. And while we were walking back to the...
Were the cars still in the site of the accident or no?
Well, I wasn't there when the accident occurred,
So you don't know?
I can't
They didn't tell
attest
you?
to that. But
Right.
From what they said, that's
Was
correct.
he still there?
No, but the plaintiff's car was there and my car was there. And I asked what happened, and they told me that they were backing up and they barely made contact. They told me they might have tapped it, and they were sort of incredulous as to why. I mean, he has the right to file an incident report, I guess, but they were sort of confused as to why he did that.
Or why he went to the hospital?
Or why, well, I don't know that they knew that right away.
What happened to you? Why did you go to the hospital? What were your injuries?
I had a sudden backache, Your Honor. I had an accident in 2007, and I had a surgery in my back. And from the impact of the car, I felt extreme pain.
Do you have a lawsuit against her or a lawsuit against the parking lot?
No, Your Honor.
Go on.
So they told me that the police were called, and that when they got there, the plaintiff had been complaining that his back hurt. And as the police report indicates, that he was walking around before that, but now has made a complaint that his back hurts. So I took pictures of his car. I said what area was damaged. They said he is saying the front, but when I looked at the car, I didn't see any damage.
But I am seeing it in those pictures.
In my pictures?
No, I don't care. Like, let me see how close your pictures are.
They're right there.
They're these.
But Your Honor,
Right, let me see the pictures I sent you. Oh, never mind. They've been sent.
I emailed myself those pictures the day of the accident so that they'd be timestamped and we could tell that that's the day they were taken. I said the broken license plate holder is really all I see, and I don't know when that happened. So.
Right, but did you see these pictures?
Not until just now.
Okay, but you do see them
but
now.
Just yes,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Now
I'm not sure what area they are or what the. I mean, there's
well,
some
you can tell from the
scratches.
grill. You can match them to the grill right there, which is kind of where that's been.
I see.
I mean, the guy agrees that he tapped it. You know.
But I did ask if whatever we were seeing at that moment was from the accident, and he said that he didn't think that those were the areas that they were.
Who said that?
The parking lot attendant. That
Oh
those,
yeah, the guy who.
Well, I mean, all I can say
So
is what he told me.
do they know that you're being sued?
I did tell them that. I'm not really sure why he's going for us personally instead of the parking lot or the driver.
Can he sue you?
I believe that he should be going after the driver of the car.
Can he sue you?
Your Honor, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far.
How could you not get that far? You're being sued. You're a lawyer. You're on the People's Court.
Well,
you didn't do the research?
I would attest, no, I'm not the driver.
That doesn't matter. You're driving. I'm asking you, can he legally sue you as the owner of the car when a parking lot attendant who you have left your car with has an accident against him? It's a legal research question.
He can sue me, but I would implead the.
That's exactly right. So you do okay. No, good, because I was disappointed in you. Now I'm not.
So can somebody end up in the hospital with back pain if they're in a car accident or rear-ended or whatnot where there's no visible damage to the car?
Yes, I think so.
Really?
So bumpers are for to take some impact. So visually you might not see anything, but it might have went through your body anyway.
Really? Bumpers are designed so you don't even see a little dent?
Sure, you might have broke the support system within. Next wreck, you're in big trouble.
You buying what she's selling?
I'm buying it.
You all sound like plaintiffs to me. So I go like this and you go to the hospital.
Well, no, not that much of a hit.
Okay, can I try a little harder then? I'm just kidding. Kidding. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, the bottom line is that any owner of a car is responsible for any damages that occur when a person has an accident in their car. Now, of course, they are responsible to you to any damages that you sustain. Now, you know.
Your Honor, the reason I asked for that amount of money is because the car was evaluated by Geico's insurance and they came up with a cost of repair.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever done body work?
Very briefly.
Right,
You know,
like if you give the car a dirty look, it's a couple $100, okay? Let me see your estimates.
And Your Honor, I don't know how you feel about the accident and what you're seeing in front of you. As far as the injury, you know, I know that's not an issue.
He's not suing you for injury. And if he wants to sue you for injury, today's the day to have done it, I think. I don't think he can separate the injury and the property damage. I think even he understands that that's not going to pass the laugh test. It is a tap. But it's a tap that needs to get fixed, even on a 2006, I know whatever it is, it's his car. He doesn't want, the guy tapped it, the damage has to be fixed. But I don't think that if I was a betting woman, that you have to sit around losing sleep over the idea of being sued for personal injury. Are you going to sue her for personal injury?
No, Your Honor.
Were
there's
you
no claim
injured?
I mentioned earlier, my back hurt me. I went to the hospital, got medication. I'm perfectly well. I don't want anything personal injury. I'm quite well.
Perfect.
I just
Verdict
need
for
car
the plaintiff
fixed.
in the amount of $539.48. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
everybody.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's see what she has to say coming out here on the losing end of this case. Step right next to me, please, and you
Okay.
stand next to her, please. What's your reaction to this outcome here?
I didn't think that there was any damage worth that amount of money, but I respect the judge's decision with respect to having to repair the
You
scratches.
still using those same attendants there? You don't blame them for what happened?
Full confidence in them. From what they tell me, it really was a non.
Anyone can drive around banging up your car and it's cool with you?
I wouldn't say that.
No, but that was all right.
But you should
Okay.
be a lawyer.
Okay. All right, right down this way.
Thank you.
Everyone's a lawyer. Come on in here.
Good morning, sir.
Are you satisfied now? How's your back?
My back is great.
Yeah.
My back is great. I have no personal injury claim. All that I wanted was my car fixed.
Mm-hmm.
The insurance adjuster examined the car and determined it's $593. That's all I wanted. Fix the car back, that's all, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean,
They hit
cut
the
and
car.
dry, right?
Exactly. No need for anything else.
She thinks you should have sued the attendant, though.
She can if she wishes. She could have third-party them in.
She can.
Not a problem.
Harvey.
Okay, this is a cardinal rule when you're in a car accident. Do not move the car. If at all possible, do not move the car until you take pictures of the car in the position the car's ended up in when the damage occurred. It's very easy for a judge to look at it and they can get all sorts of information from it to know who hit who and what the evidence was.